أولاك مقالي يا بدرات من هذا كل كمالي ماذا يعبر عن أولاك مقالي مع السلامة في أماني شيخنا الله ربي ارحمه ربي روحنا يا ربنا مع السلامة في أماني شيخنا الله ربي ارحمه ربي روحنا يا ربنا.
Guys nak tanya, by the way kan, kita punya apa ni, kita punya Google Meet ni kan, ada time limit ke? 60 minit ke tak ada? Gmeet ni kan, ada time limit kan? Tak ada kan? Tak ada kan? Tak ada, tak apa.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Attention to all participants. We will start our program shortly after this. Kindly turn off your microphone and you may turn on your camera. Thank you very much.
بكري ضيوف إني ملهوف أغثني بحق الله أنت المعروف بالجود بكري الضيوف إني ملهوف أغثني بحق الله أنت الحبيب الأعظم سر المجيب حاشا يغيب من لاذ برسول الله أنت الحبيب الأعظم سر المجيب حاشا يغيب من لاذ برسول الله 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 أغثنا يا رسول الله يا ديم الجاه عليك صلوات الله عبد بالباب يرتجي على اسم الأعداء جد بالجواب مرحبا قد قابلنا أنت المعروف بالجود بكري الضيوف إني ملهوف أغثني بحق الله أنت المعروف بالجود بكري ضيوف إني ملهوف أغثني بحق الله أنت الحبيب الأعظم سر المجيب حاشا يغيب من لاذ برسول الله أنت الحبيب الأعظم سر المجيب حاشا يغيب من لاذ برسول الله يا بدرات من هذا كل كمالي ماذا يعبر عن أولاك مقالي يا بدرات من هذا
Testing 1 2 3. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning to everyone. I am Adi Husaini bin Abdul Aziz, a student from Kuliah of Engineering as the moderator for our program Road to 4.0 this morning. On this beautiful day, we will have an exciting and yet a meaningful talk by Sister Amira Hazwani Bakri, who is a counselor advocacy and support unit from our IIUM Counseling and Career Service Center of Gombak campus. Before that, we will start our program with recitation of dua by Brother Alif. Please welcome.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما ولا تجعل اللهم فينا ولا معنا شقيا ولا محروما. اللهم اجعلنا من أهل الخير واجعلنا من أهل البركة واجعلنا من أهل المغفرة. اللهم اجعل مجلسنا هذا مجلسا مباركا لأصحابنا وأهلنا وجيراننا وضيوفنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. ربنا عليك توكلنا وإليك أنبنا وإليك المصير. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you very much, Brother Alif. So as you know guys, with great experience in education, our speaker will share her experience through her career and academic life. In a short brief, our talk today will focus on how excellent students manage and maintain a good result. There will be many tips and motivation shared in this session. So don't miss this opportunity for you guys to take some notes. With this, I invite to you guys, our speaker today, Sister Amira Hazani Bakri.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Can you hear me?
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, that's great. So, because I think we have international students here, so I will try my best to speak in full English throughout the session. But if I accidentally spurt out bahasa Melayu words, please you can ask me lah if you don't understand. Okay. So I would like to introduce myself first, so you guys can get to know me, who I am. Actually, I'm a new counselor here at SITC. I am under mental health unit actually, and specifically advocacy and support unit. So it's a new unit. Basically, we help with students with mental illness. And usually, because you guys are all students, you may face academic challenges, academic stress that may lead to mental health issues. So you guys can consult me on that. And then I forgot to say out my name. My name is Amira Hazwani Bakri. You can call me Kak Mira. I studied psychology for my degree at the University of Queensland. And then I did my master in professional counselling where I got my license. I did my master in University Malaya. So the topic today, the topic was given to me is Road to 4.0, which is a very heavy topic to me actually, because I usually deliver on mental health, and today I'm going to talk about study academic. Okay, just a little bit of background. I used to be a student, so I understand the struggles that students faced. I understand the pressure that you guys also faced. And Alhamdulillah, I think I have a bit of confidence to talk about this topic, because I used to get 4.0 juga during my master's year. So I think I can share as much lah how I manage my study life, how I managed to maintain my CGPA and study. And I hope I can help you guys as much with this topic, and I hope I can deliver the answers well. So if you guys don't understand or if you guys need more clarification, you just can ask me at the end of the session. Or if you need fast clarification, you just can maybe put in the chat so I can address your questions. Okay, so I think that is enough for my introduction. I speak enough. So anything, Adib, that I need to clarify on?
Thank you, sister. You have introduced yourself. So we start our program today. So guys, are you still excited? So we will proceed to the most exciting part. I will begin with the first question, sister. So Sister Mira, we heard of 4.0 in every college and university, right? Can you give insights on what the meaning of 4.0 is for us as students? And
Mhm.
is it really that important for students to achieve GPA of 4.0? That's my
Okay.
question.
The first question is already tough. Okay, 4.0 is actually the max score that you can get in your study. So 4.0 is like, I think it is like a dream for every student to achieve, right? Because there's no more than that. It's 4.0 is the best. Like if you get 4.0, people will be like, wow, the student is like a star student. So it gives confidence to you as a student and as a person as well. So that is in terms of the self development lah. So it gives you that sense of you did something, you achieved something. And in academics pula, 4.0 means that you are on the best track lah. Because 4.0 kan you don't have more than that. That is the best that you can get. But if you want to say, is it really important to achieve GPA lah? GPA 4.0, it can be important. It can be stressful. So it depends on the individual. Why do you want to get 4.0? Okay, 4.0 kalau in my view as students, before this I was a student, it is important because you get to maintain that CGPA. So you don't, kalau your scores drop, of course it will affect your CGPA as well because GPA will determine your CGPA kan. So if you maintain 4.0, you won't change the CGPA at all. It will stay that way. And for to achieve CGPA 4.0, I think it can be tough, it can be stressful to most students because you want to achieve 4.0, you have to make sure GPA 4.0 all semesters. Are you able to do that? It depends on you. And what if you don't get 4.0 GPA? You can't maintain CGPA 4.0 anymore. So that can be really, really stressful to you. But I feel that the most important part is the mindset. Okay, mindset to get the highest score that you can. So it doesn't mean that you don't get 4.0, that is bad, as long as you achieve similar levels. For example, you have this mindset, okay, I want to achieve 4.0, but it's okay if I fall below that, not too much lah. When you have that kind of mindset to get 4.0, your scores may vary between there. So it won't be like too low than 4.0. So the mindset that is actually more important than what you really get, because the mindset will determine your behavior, your effort to get the highest as you can. Okay, but Kak Mia dah explain tadi, it can be stressful, so you have to remember that it can be really stressful if you're not flexible enough. For example, you have this mindset, I want to achieve 4.0, but if you don't get, you will be too sad until to the point that you get depressed, because I have that kind of issues. I handle that kind of issues because of the expectation is, of course, 4.0 is very, very high. And if you're not flexible enough, you are going to be very, very disappointed with yourself. So we don't want that. We want to have a balanced kind of mindset. I want 4.0, but I can be flexible. Okay? The most important thing is the mindset is driving your behavior and effort towards there. And inshallah, if you have that kind of effort and behavior, walaupun you don't get 4.0, your scores will still be good for you, for your study, for your semesters. So that is, I think, what is most important. And just remember that, yes, the GPA can be very important when you want to go for job seeking. But you have to remember as well, even though you have good CGPA pun, you don't have skills, that will not be good for you. So it must be skills and CGPA go together. So it's like you have to work on both things. You have to work on your academics, you have to work on your skills. Skills ni very, very important because students yang pandai, like smart students are too many nowadays. You have to compete, you have to sell yourself bila nak cari kerja, you want to look for a job. the skills that you show yourself, what you have together with the CGPA comes together. It can't be just CGPA. It's all about studying. No, you have to develop your skills and your personality, your characteristics, how you interact with people. These are really, really important and sometimes can be more important than your CGPA based on the company that you applied for. CGPA ni is just for them to like, some company they have like screening system, like automatic screening system where they go by computers. So why CGPA is important is because if they use this system, they will tapis, they will filter the candidates based on CGPA dulu. So if you don't pass the minimum CGPA, then you won't be qualified to go for the interview anymore. So that is why CGPA is important. So the higher you get, the better your chance are. Just that when you get the chance, for example, they call you for interview, your skills lacking, so that is not good. So you need to work on both sides. So don't just focus on 4.0, but you don't work on your personal development. So be careful on that. So I hope this won't stress you guys more, because on top of 4.0, you have to think of other things. This is just for you to prepare for what's going to happen next in your future. There are a lot of things you guys are going to go through. Because now you are students, kan? So you have a lot of opportunity to build yourself. Mungkin now you are too focused on studying, which is good, but start to think, how am I going to develop my skills as well? Okay? So I think that should answer that question.
Thank you for your answer, Sister Amira. I really do agree a lot on what is brought up by you. And I hope every one of us can understand now the importance for us as students to achieve and sustain our excellence in studies. And the CGPA is important for us as students, and because it is important to seeking the job in the higher level. And instead of the keeping the good CGPA, we don't forget the skills to get in the job.
Yes,
All right,
correct.
let's move to the next question, shall we?
Okay.
So then, my next question is, what are some challenges faced by most students to achieve 4.0, and how can we as students encounter it?
Okay.
That's my question.
Okay, so challenges, a lot of challenges actually. Just now I mentioned about mental health problems that students faced because they are too pressured to achieve certain scores. Okay, so that can be a challenge. If you don't have good mental health, that can be a challenge for you. So I always guide my clients who have academic issues to make sure that on top of studying, you have to make sure you have a balanced life. You don't just focus on studying, that you forget I am a human who needs rest as well. Okay, that is very, very important because I am under mental health unit. So I like to focus more on mental health because my mental health will affect a lot of things. Your study, most importantly lah. Because you're a student, studying is like your job scope for now. So if you don't have good mental health, how are you going to manage your academic stress? How are you going to manage your task? So that can be a very, very challenging thing for students. So how do you want to encounter that kind of challenge in terms of mental health? You have to have enough rest. You have to have leisure time. I ask my clients who have academic stress ni, how's the schedule? And a lot of the students, they only have schedule or plans for study, assignment, and then group work. And there's no slot for self-care. There's no slot for rest. Okay, tidur lambat. Okay, I understand being a student, sometimes you have to sleep late because you have a lot of assignments. Okay, when you sleep late, like almost every day, that can be very, very dangerous and harmful to your mental health, to your physical health as well. So your body is going to be tired. It's like a cycle, okay? Like you are doing your assignment, too many assignments, You sleep late, you get tired. When you're tired, you can't finish your assignment. So it's a cycle. So you have to break that cycle. It's okay for you to sleep early just to get your body used to it. Just to get your body, get enough rest in order for you to be more productive. Because if we have this mindset, okay, I can't sleep until I finish my work, you are going to drag yourself to the into the cycle again and again. But what your body needs is rest. Okay, rest is so important, and if you have enough rest, you can see how you can change in terms of your productivity. Okay, I have these questions. Maybe I can just address it because we're talking about this, right? 6 hours of sleep every day. Okay, 6 hours of sleep sounds good, but you have to see also, like, is it consistent, like the timing, in terms of timing, the quality of sleep. Do you get is the sleep like macam nak cakap, you sleep the whole 6 hours, or you woke up in the middle of the night, or how? So we have to look at that aspect as well, because if you sleep 6 hours but it's like, okay, 2 hours nap and then another 4 hours after midnight, so that one is not considered good quality of sleep. The sleep needs to be before 12, or it's the best at 10, and it's like continuously, you don't wake up in the middle of the night. It's a good sleep if you get the whole hours without waking up. Okay, that's good sleep. So that is very, very important lah. You get enough rest, enough sleep. And one more thing, not just rest and sleep, you also need to have leisure time. This one pun susah lah. I think rest tu okay, sleep, because semua orang akan ada that point. Everyone will have at one point, I feel so tired, I will fall asleep, or I need to sleep. But this one, self-care and also leisure, is something that we need to do by effort. Okay? So if you are too focused on studying, you akan terlepas. You will miss this, you'll miss to see when should I have my leisure time. Because I'm so focused on studying, I don't have time for myself. I don't have time to do what I like. So that is harmful to you as well, because you are students, your main job scope is to study, but no time for you to have fun at all. So nanti at one point you're gonna lose motivation to study at all, because there's nothing to look forward to. There's nothing for you to feel good about studying. So that is where you start to lose motivation, you start to get burnout, because there's no fun at all. Okay, in psychology we have 5 basic needs now. We have sense of belongingness, love, survival, we have freedom, we want to have security or protection, and we need to have fun. So fun is part of our basic needs in life. So as much as you want to achieve 4.0, you don't have fun in what you do in life, there's no meaning to it. Okay, I achieve 4.0, okay, that's it. Like, what else? Because I'm so used to studying, I don't even think about what I want to do in life. I don't think about what I like to do in life. So how do you want to avoid this kind of feeling? You have to slot in for your self-care. And Kak Mira ada like one tips. I have this tip, like I think it's really, really useful for students, and I myself, when I was a student, I used this. I want to show you guys. I have like calendar macam ni tau. Even now I'm using, I can't show you guys. Sorry. Okay, so I have this calendar. Dia macam ada, it has like boxes. Macam each day ada box. Okay, I don't know how I can show you guys with this filter. Okay, so nampak, like one day ada box, next day ada box. Like the boxes help you to jot down what assignments do you have. I mean the due dates that you have. Daily planner, yes, you can have daily planner as well. That can be helpful, because you can list down all the things you need to do in that month. That's what I do lah. Kak Mira usually like to do it in month by month. So it's up to you guys how you want to do it. But the important thing is you have to jot down the due dates for your assignments. When you have the due dates, you can plan, okay, when should I start? The due dates is maybe 21st of January. So usually for this assignment, it will take a longer time. So I think I'm going to start a week before. So you have to set another date on that planner or on that calendar that I need to start doing this assignment. So you can write down on the planner or on the calendar. And at the same time, when you have this planner or calendar, it does not only help you to be on track with your assignments, you can see when is my free time, when I reward myself. That is very important that students usually don't take note of. Okay? Bila Kak Mel tanya some of my students, okay, after you habis assignments, you buat apa? Oh, tidur or pergi makan, something like that. But there's no reward to it. Okay, I understand macam belanja diri sendiri makan is a reward, but make it a big deal tau. For example, for me dulu lah, even with studying, contoh Kak Mira usually set a goal for me, okay, a day I need to study one subject, one topic. So once I finish that topic, I reward myself with simple things like watching YouTube, watching my favorite movie. But I make it a big deal, like, yes, I finished this, I deserve this, I deserve to watch my favorite show. So you have to hype yourself lah, macam short sendiri, but make it like something really big for you. It's like a reward. I achieved something, although it's not 4.0 yet. I just finished my assignments here, but you have to reward yourself to create that motivation going. So this is so important. And it is a challenge because if you don't have motivation, you're not going to have the same mindset 4.0 anymore. So you have to create motivation for yourself. This is what we call as external motivation. Sebab bila kita study, we get tired and we don't have internal motivation anymore. So macam if we macam student baru kan, like new students, sometimes we are so eager. Oh, I'm going to start learning new things. I'm going to start learning this and that. We are eager. We have internal motivation to study. But once you go to the second, third year, you are going to be tired. I'm so tired with lectures, class. So internal motivation is drained. You have to create external motivation. External motivation like watching your favorite shows, go for movie night ke, or treat yourself to fancy food, whatever lah. Okay? Yes, burnout. So before burnout happens, you have to prevent that by doing this, by rewarding yourself. So having planner, having calendar really helps for you to see when is the free time for me. Or even if you don't have free time, ataupun it's all study, slot in even for like 2 hours, minimum 2 hours or 1 hour, you have to slot in. That is like compulsory lah, I would say, because if we don't consciously put an effort to care for ourselves, we will never do it. Okay, ada question I think. How to avoid anxiety when it comes to studying? Okay, anxiety tadi part of mental health jugalah. Some people, they have anxiety specifically for studying je, for exam. We also have this term called as exam anxiety, something like that. And whenever it's the exam time, you're going to get anxious. Okay, semua orang anxious. Everyone will be anxious. Okay, everyone has anxiety whenever something big is coming up. That is normal. But exam anxiety is more than that. So you can't stop thinking about what's going to happen next. You can't stop you can't sleep at all. So the anxiety ni can be good. Anxiety can be good when it drives you to do what it needs to be done. For example, okay, I'm gonna have exam. I feel anxious, so I need to study. That is very good. That is good anxiety or good stress lah. But it becomes bad when anxiety is interfering with your functioning. You can't sleep and you are too overthinking about what's going to happen masa exam tu. And then instead of studying to overcome the anxiety, you can't function at all because too many things in your mind. You can't focus. That is what we call as bad anxiety. It interferes with your functioning. Any types of problems that interferes with your daily functioning is already mental health issues lah, you have to consult professional help for this, okay? But for normal anxiety, what I would suggest or what I would recommend is you have to practice mindfulness. So anxiety ni, it happens when there's too many things in our mind. We are thinking too much about the future. So we have to bring ourselves back to the present moment, okay? How to bring back ourselves to the present moment? First, we can practice mindfulness, mindful breathing. Okay, it sounds so simple, but it is very, very effective. Okay, when we talk about breathing, we breathe every day, we breathe, but this is a different kind of breathing exercise. You have to focus on the air that goes into your nose, into your lungs, and tahan. How you have to like really feel the present moment. You have to feel the air in your chest. Okay, bila kita tahan nafas, when we hold our breath, we have to feel how does it feel when the air is in our chest. And when we want to let out the air, we also have to feel it. It goes out from our esophagus, goes to our mouth. Describe how it feels to yourself. So this sounds so simple, but it actually helps you to, first, it helps oxygen to go to your mind. And this, when oxygen goes to your mind, you are going to be calmer. You are going to be in a state where you are able to think more rationally, because all the thoughts will not continue like at this point, because you are focused on the breathing. So oxygen comes to your mind and comes to your brain, and then you are going to get distracted from thinking about the future to thinking about or feeling the air goes into our body. So that is how powerful it is lah. You have to try that one. And it's not just one time, you have to do it repeatedly, maybe like at least 4 times. So you have to try it out when you get anxious. Okay, not just for academics, in general life. Okay, there will be times we get very, very anxious, we get panic. Breathing exercise really helps. And then another way, when you get very, very anxious with your studies, you want to bring yourself back to the present. We have this grounding techniques. Okay, grounding techniques ni, it doesn't only help with anxiety, because anxiety, it will make you think a lot about the future, but for trauma patients as well. If you have trauma, kan, you're going to have flashback, you're going to think about what had happened to you in the past. So it's either you think about the future or you think about the past too much, which distracts you from living the moments, the now, the present. So grounding method is when you use your 5 senses. We have our eyes to see, we have our skin to touch, we have our ears to hear, we have our nose to smell, mouth to taste. So we use these 5 senses. Okay, how do you do this? You have to list down at a point, you have to say out 5 things you can see in front of you or around you. For example, I can see a laptop in front of me, it is very bright. And then you have to list down or say out 4 things you can touch with your hands. So I can touch table in front of me, it's very cold. Okay, 4 things. And then 3 things you can listen to. For example, now I am hearing my own voice. Okay, it's very annoying if I talk too much. So 3 things that you can hear. 2 things you can smell with your nose. I can smell air freshener. It's very nice. So 2 things like that. And 1 thing you can taste in your mouth. For example, I just ate nasi goreng, so it tastes nasi goreng in my mouth. Okay, why you have to do this? Okay, when you practice this grounding method, you are going to focus what is happening now, what you see now. So it's like pulling you from thinking about the past or thinking about the future to what is going on around me at this moment, and it's going to like stop us from thinking from the future or the past. Okay, it's not going to stop, but it will distract us to make us focus that we are in the present moment. Okay, I am having anxiety just now because of this, because of my study. So I'm going to relive my present moments and I'm going to chill first. Okay, so that is the first step lah. If you have anxiety on academic stress, okay. So once you are able to bring yourself back to the present, you have to cope with it. You have to calm down. Janganlah terus study. You don't have to continue studying right away. Just find things that can cool you down, chill down, and then you start to study again. Okay? Don't push yourself too much when you are anxious. So you can try that one out. Okay. Later on, Kak Mira akan jawab. I will answer the other questions. Okay, sebab Kak Mira ada banyak lagi points for the challenges. I'll just share some more. So just now I mentioned a lot about mental health kan, because it is a very very tough challenge for any students to achieve 4.0, and also with general study. Not just 4.0, maybe you want to do assignments pun, it will affect you if your mental health is not good. Okay, so another challenge to achieve 4.0 is preparedness. Okay, I notice some students, they don't even get prepared. Like assignments requirement pun, they don't even know. For example, masa Kak Mira sendiri, I just share my own experience. Because I was a student before, and I am the type yang awal-awal dulu lah, like earlier during my study years, I just go with the flow. Like when the due date is coming, barulah. Only then I want to study. Okay, apa? What should I do with the assignment? What is the score? What is the weightage for this assignment? So that's actually dangerous for students, because if you just go with the flow, you just wait for the assignments due to come, you are going to get panic. Itulah datangnya. That's when anxiety comes in, because you're not prepared. Okay, preparedness is very important. So once you get like the assignments from your lecturers or the exam, when is the exam going to happen, you have to be prepared for those kind of things. You have to know what requirements the assignment needs. I need to do this in a group work. I need to focus more on which assignments, because each assignments can have different weightage. So that is very very important. If you get prepared earlier, you know what you need to do earlier, it's easier for you to manage your time. And when you are able to manage your time, 4.0 can be achieved. Okay, so that is in terms of preparedness. Okay, and then assignments. Okay, the assignments ni, you have to know how many efforts you put in pun. The scores, the marks will be determined by lecturers. Okay, this is where disappointments may kick in. For example, you think that I put so much effort in this, but my lecturer gave lower marks than me. So you have to bear in mind, this is out of your control. You can put in effort, a lot of effort, but at the end of the day, lecturers will give the marks. So if you are not satisfied, you have to discuss. This is we have to, sometimes we need to get clarification lah from our lecturers, kenapa macam ni. So if there's space for you to improve on, or you can, apa orang cakap tu, I dah forgot lah. When I was student, we can still appeal kot to revise the marks. You can try to do that as well, because this is out of our control. We can just discuss, and at the same time, maybe we can learn what we did wrong. So in the next semester, mungkin we can improve on something yang kita lack in during that semester. Biar dah dapat scores nanti, okay? And then another thing about assignments is that procrastination. I was a student, so I know I procrastinated a lot. So after I have that planner, that really helps with my time management. And please, if you guys are going to start new semester soon, next March, March kan? So don't start procrastinating since beginning, because nowadays now is the end of semesters. So many students come to the counseling session because they can't catch up anymore. Why? Because procrastination since the beginning of the semester. Okay, procrastination can be procrastinating your work and procrastinating from getting help. Okay, there are two. Okay, procrastinating work tu maksudnya you feel like, I don't want to do this now, I do this later. Okay, some people they have they are gifted lah. Walaupun they procrastinate, they will still manage to catch up. That's okay. And it's okay if you do that and you still manage to get good scores. That's okay. But if you know your limit, you know your weakness, and you still procrastinate, that is your choice. Meaning you have to take responsibility over that. Okay. So please don't procrastinate since early of the semester. It's going to drain you at the end of the semester. Like what happened now, a lot of students, whenever like they are burned out, usually counselors akan bagi, we will give like instrument to see their mental health punya condition. So we're going to see their depression level, anxiety level, stress level. So usually at the end of the semesters, when students come because they have a lot of work, you can't catch up. They are so stressed about it and they do this instrument or this questionnaire. Of course, the scores will be high. They're going to have high depression level, high stress level, high anxiety level. But it's not purely because of the mental health problems itself, because of what happened since ataupun throughout the semester, because they don't start early and they procrastinated. Because some people, the issue is because memang they have mental health problems which hinders their performance, which affects their academic productivity. But some people, because of the procrastination and the effort since the beginning of the semesters, they already lack in. That's why at the end of semester, barulah this stress, anxiety, and depression comes in. Okay, so it can be cause and effect. Dua-dua, it can be interchanged. Okay, so doesn't mean you have stress, anxiety, and depression level high. It doesn't mean you have that. Okay, it doesn't mean you have mental disorder. It's just that because of what happened in the beginning of semesters affected that level. It can go down nanti once the exam is over or once you get things sorted out, it can go down. And then another thing that Kamila mentioned, procrastination in terms of getting help. Okay, that is when students are too overwhelmed already ataupun in the beginning of semesters pun this person cannot cope. Bukan cannot cope because they don't want to do their work apa, but memang they have mental health problems. But they procrastinate. They feel like, oh, I don't need help. I think I can still do it. But it is still bothering them. Macam Kak cakap, it is interfering with daily life. Okay, when you have mental health issues, it's going to interfere your functioning. You can't think straight. You can't focus in your study. Although you try so many ways, that is when you need help. So if you feel like you have these symptoms, don't procrastinate to get help, because if you procrastinate, at the end of the semesters, lagilah you're going to get stressed out because you already have mental health problems you need to treat. And then you are going to face another issues, which is academic stress. So procrastination in getting help is also going to burden you towards the end nanti. Okay, not towards the end, in the middle of semester pun it can affect you. So be careful with this, okay? Alright, and then another challenge, tadi dah cakap preparedness, mental health, assignments, and then exam. Exam, I'm not sure with you guys, but when I was a student before, exam is, the weightage is lesser than assignments. So although it is lesser, usually my assignment is 60%, exam is 40%. So you have to plan lah. Doesn't mean that, okay, assignments you get 60% lah, for example. Then the exam you can do a laid back job. Cannot be like that. You have to make sure you want to get 4.0. You can't just macam, okay, I have achieved assignments with a good score. I can just malas-malas with my exam. No, it's not like that. Because a student who aim for 4.0, they are supposed to be students yang have this determination. 4.0 is just a number. At the same time, I want to do my best in everything, okay? So it goes together with your mindset tadi. Because as kita nak study, when we study, we don't want to just get the best that we can, achieve the best that we can, but we want to obtain something for ourselves, which is our knowledge. That is so important. If you have that in mind, you have that in heart, inshallah, everything will be smooth for you, okay? Okay, I think I've talked a lot and I have shared a lot for this one question. I pun tak realise. So I'm going to go back to Adib.
Thank you so much, Sister Amira, for your answer. And what you have just said is right. We as students, to be honest, always feel easy to be less confident. And if we experience any bad challenges or problems during our studies, especially the mental health aspect, So remember, for us students, we should not ignore our self-care. And what is interesting about, I heard that about the grounding method. It is the first time for me to hear it. So my question just now, you have mentioned about challenges, and you also have mentioned about the tips also. So my next question is, um, all right, what are your tips about increasing effective and creative study schedule? Since some of students take many subjects in one semester.
So meaning that the schedule plan ke?
Yes.
Can you elaborate more a bit about
Since
the
some
question?
students take
Huh?
since some students takes many subjects and have involved in many societies in university.
Oh, okay. So how they want to plan out their responsibilities ke and study? So like that?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So this is another
Yes, yes.
thing. Some students they hold a lot of position in the club, society, and same time they have to manage their academics as well. Okay, one first thing, uh, you have to know your limits juga. Okay, ada my client, this person has a lot of roles and responsibilities in the society, and at the same time so many subjects that she or he needs to take. So at the end of the day, it's too much, it's too overwhelming, and last is it leads to burnout. Will that burnout, when it is burnout, you can't perform well anymore, you are going to have mental health problems. So again, this is something yang you have to think carefully. If you have a lot of roles and responsibilities, you have to have priorities. Okay. For example, maybe you hold different multiple uh, roles and responsibilities within the institution. You have to make sure, okay, which one is my priority? Can I do all of them, or can I let go some of them? So benda ni, you have to always know what you are capable of and what you are not. Okay, doesn't mean you hold a lot of positions, you are going to be successful in your career later on. Of course, when you're active, you are going to have good resume lah. Your CV pun cantik, you have a lot of involvements. But if that is an issue to you, you have too many responsibilities, that's not going to be good for you as well. So you have to manage your priorities well. This is what I told my clients as well. If you have a lot of responsibilities, list it down. Okay, list down apa yang you have, what positions you have, and then you have to wait one by one. Okay, is this important to me? Can I manage this role? Okay, think about that. So one by one, you have to weigh the pros and cons, and then you have to buat macam cakap, list down by priorities ataupun list down by what you think is the most important to you. So the first one, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So kita boleh nampak, we can see if we need to let go some positions, we know which one is at the bottom, yang that is easier for us to let go lah. Okay, sort it out in a sequence. So let's say there are positions you can't carry, you have to let go. You have to manage it. You can't hold too many positions at one time, but you cannot manage. And then you also have to see, is this role and responsibilities I have is interfering with my academics? So if it is, then you have the answer. You can't carry too much lah. That's why you have to sort out what you need to let go. And then about the schedule, I can see a lot of students from, I think I call their schedule is so packed. Banyak. I'm not sure with engineering, but if you guys have schedules yang very packed, and nowadays pun you guys have online class, ada yang dah go for physical class. So so many adjustments that you guys need to go through, kan? So you have the schedule. The schedule ni satu benda lah. You guys cannot change pun. You have to follow, right? So this is something you cannot control. You have to just go with it. So you just follow the schedule. But if you have free time, you have to rest lah. Within you have to take it as a break kalau ada ruang kosong sekejap. Because I feel like if the schedule is like back to back, tak ada gap langsung, you are not going to be as productive pun in the class, okay? And some students yang ada class back to back ni, Kak Mira, kalau online class lah, physical class I think still okay because you don't have to be on the laptop all the time. Because when you are in front of the laptop all the time, it's draining you in terms of like your eyes. Your eyes are going to be very sore. Your body point, because you are sitting just like in that posture for so long, you're gonna have body ache later on. So kalau lah you have online class the whole back-to-back session, what I tell my client is that if you feel like you're not productive anymore in the class, just take a 5 minutes break. You can pergilah ambil air ke or like do something, just 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes of not to say you leave the class ke apa, but just to recharge yourself because you don't have break. Okay, you can't just macam skip class to take break. No, you can't. You still have to join the class. But if you reach your limit yang you can't go anymore, so daripada you duduk depan laptop, dengar je kelas tu tapi tak masuk pun, it's better for you to take at least 5 minutes break je to like recharge yourself. Just do activities yang to calm you down, to release your stress. Okay, so it's better to take break than to just push yourself untuk masukkan to get that knowledge going in, although you know it won't go in anymore. Okay, because as a human, we all have limits tau. So at one point, our brain dah macam, this is too much, I cannot take in more information. So you need to know when to take breaks. Okay, at the same time, janganlah bila take break tu is too long. 5 minutes is enough. Okay, 5 minutes of just do anything other than studying, other than focusing in class, because you're not focusing pun. So just do something else. That's what I told my client lah. Kalau online class, physical class, you have no choice lah. You just have to be there. You have to be present in the class. But I think physical class is not as tiring as online class, because physical class, there's interaction there. You can see what's happening in front of you. At least kalau you want to get distracted pun, there are things you can look around instead of just the laptop. So if that answers your question.
Thank you very much, sister. It's okay. I agree what you just said about set our priority first and arrange which is one more priority. So my next question is, since some students have talent in study and do not struggle a lot in studies, and some of students struggle a lot. So are there any study tips that you can recommend for us to maintain our spirit in study and eventually we can achieve 4.0? That's the question.
Okay, so basically tips lah kan to keep the motivation going. Okay. Okay, tadi Kak Mira dah I shared about the planner, the calendar, reward. And I think I have one more. Okay, goal. Goal is so important. Okay, goal, 4.0 is the main goal. But along the way, there are many things you are going to go through tau. Macam you have assignments due date, you have exams, you have group work, presentation, and so many things lah. So how are you going to achieve this main goal of getting 4.0 if you don't have small goals? Macam kita main game lah, like if you play game, for example, RPG games lah, usually the main goal is for you to move to another level, for example. But before you move to the other level, there will be checkpoints. Okay, these checkpoints, bila you reach the checkpoints, you are going to start at that checkpoint. Bila you dah macam mati ke, you dah tak, you dah tutup game tu, you akan still at this checkpoint. Maksudnya checkpoint ni akan make sure we are going to reach that main goal at the end. We are going to move to the next level, but first you have to go for the checkpoints first, one by one. So checkpoints ada banyak. That is the same for our goal to achieve 4.0. 4.0 is the main goal. We have to identify where is our checkpoints. So checkpoints is actually our small goals for ourselves. Kak Mia suka fikir macam tu because I like to play games. So I imagine myself, I'm in this checkpoint, blah, blah, blah. Am I reaching to this checkpoint? So checkpoints is the goal, the mini goals that we need to have. For example, we have we have presentation, for example. So that is our checkpoints to reach 4.0. So we have a presentation. We know this is our checkpoint. What are we going to do to achieve, to get to the checkpoints? Okay, presentation. I have to prepare myself. I have to practice with my points. I have to discuss with my members effectively, for example. So within each small goals, there will be plans. So if we have goal, we don't have plans, tak guna. How are we going to achieve the goal if we don't have plans? So we have to know whenever we set goals, there needs to be plan behind that. And especially bila nak dekat-dekat exam lah. Exam ni sangat-sangat, I feel like it is the most important part where you need to set the goal. Sebab bila nak exam, barulah kita tergeh-geh nak study, nak kena kejar balik apa yang tak faham. Okay. So bila nak dekat exam tu, the goal is even more important lah. So for example, you have how many subjects? Maybe seven subjects. So you have to pecahkan lagi the goals. Okay, for example lah, Kak Mira cerita from my start lah, because I don't know your subjects. Kak Mira dulu ambil, I don't remember lah, maybe like 7 subjects. So I have to divide 7 subjects ni untuk within 1 month. Contoh lah, I have my exam is coming in another 1 month, for example. So I have to divide lah, okay, one subject I need to allocate 1 week, for example, ataupun 4 days just to study about this subject. So that is my goal. I have my aim, bila nak habis study, when should I finish studying this subject? When should I finish studying this topic for this subject? So I like to break it down like that. But I'm not sure with you guys, some lecturers maybe they akan bagi tips like what's going to appear in the exam. If you get that advantage, that privilege, lagilah senang. You can plan the goals even more specifically. Like, okay, I know what topic is going to come out, so I'm going to study this topic for 2 days. Okay, so like you break down the goals that you have. That's the example lah. And then when you have broken down the subjects, the topics, break down lagi. Kak Mira memang break down lagi. I will break down into how many pages. Contoh lah, if we have to memorize ke apa kan, how many pages should I study in 1 hour? So that is how I study, and I think it really helps. Because if we have that kind of goal, we will focus more. And at the end of the goal, we manage to achieve that, we can reward ourselves again. So when you have a goal, you have plans, rewards come after. Cannot be like, okay, I achieved this goal, yay, okay, now let's go on to the next goal. Cannot be like that. You need to have the external motivation again and again. You can just do as simple as macam I can tengok TikTok for 5 minutes, 10 minutes or 30 minutes. Suka hatilah korang, asalkan you know your you know how to discipline yourself, and you know the time you need to get back to work. Okay, so you have to reward yourself with things you like, and at the same time you have to know what you like, which will not interfere with your motivation to continue study. Because sometimes when we reward ourselves, kita dah jadi malas. We can't be like that lah. We have to discipline ourselves. That is also important to keep our study going. Okay, and then another one, apa yang tadi Kak Mira cakap, lupa lah. I was talking about the goal. When you have goal, I think I have that's in my pada lupa. Tak apalah. I think the goal is important enough. If I remember, I will continue with that. Okay, jap. I think there's another tips for you guys that I practiced when I was a student before. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys have this subjects yang perlukan memorizing ke. But to me, memorizing is good, but the most important part is actually understanding what you are learning. Masa SPM, kau ingat, usually students mostly memorize je, so that nanti bila keluar kat soalan, we just write down what we memorize based on the question. And based on the what question will appear, and then the answer is okay, this. It's just memorizing. But that won't be helpful. Okay, you need to understand. When you read something, you have to understand what is it about. Not just merely just memorizing. You have to understand what is the thing that I'm actually learning. So that is also important juga. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it. Kau remember another tips, I will share with you again.
Alright. That's all, Sister Amira, for the question.
Okay.
So,
You want to answer the
yeah,
questions
I
in the chat?
will continue with. Alright. You can choose any question in the chat that you
All
would
right,
like to
thank
answer.
you. Okay, thank you, Adib. So I have questions about from Brother Haris Amdullah. Is praying and zikir considered as external motivation? Okay, you have to understand what is external motivation first. External motivation is anything that we bring to ourselves or we do to make ourselves feel happy, feel enjoyed. Okay, anything that makes us feel that I want to do more of this. So if you feel praying, zikir makes you feel that way, makes you feel like motivated afterwards, yes, it is considered as external motivation. So external motivation is not something yang fixed, yang okay, treating yourself with food is external motivation, because some people think food is just something yang usual. So that's not external motivation to people who thinks that food is normal. Okay. So external motivation depends and varies within individual. If you like something, that can be external motivation to you. Some people may not like what we like. So that's why external motivation can be different for each person. For me, myself, I enjoy gardening, for example. So when I do gardening, it is an external motivation for me because I like to do it. Some people, they don't like gardening, so that's not going to be motivation to some people. So praying and zikr, if you feel motivated to do it, you feel you like to do it, and and the activity brings you positive emotions, then that is considered as external motivation. Okay, so I hope that answers the question. Okay,
Okay,
then we have
I have question.
okay, yes,
For my
correct.
question.
Yeah.
Alright. My question is how to boost yourself internally without needing help from others, such as external motivation.
So how to help yourself?
So, how to boost yourself internally? How to get
Oh,
internally motivation without needing help from others?
okay. How to boost your motivation internally? Okay, internally dia macam ni. Kenapa Kak Mira cakap pasal external ni? Because when you start with external motivation, one day it will macam develop the internal motivation in yourself tau. You don't need the external anymore once you start enjoying the things that you do. Okay, for example, contoh sekejap kami tengah ingat balik the previous things that happened. Okay, dulu Kak Mira, I work with children with autism, okay? And we use a lot of motivation for these children. This is, okay, nanti Kak Mira akan relatekan dengan kita as student, okay? So children with autism ni, they sometimes they don't have motivation at all, or they are too fixated on one motivation. They don't like other things. For example, my kids dulu, dia suka kereta je. Dia suka main kereta je. So we don't want this child to like one thing only. We want this child to like so many things, to have so many motivation. So what we did is we introduced a new toy, for example, new toy for this boy. Of course, we know that he won't like it because it's not something that he play with. But how are we going to create that motivation to play with this toy is that, okay, we associate this toy with things that he likes. Okay, maksudnya bila dia main, bila dia pegang je kereta tu ataupun dia main dengan kereta tu, reward externally. Reward with something yang macam dia suka lah. For example, the food that he likes ke, so we reward. This is external motivation. But lama-lama, that external motivation akan berkurangan. We won't give as much external motivation anymore because this boy is going to have association. Okay, my creator is very rewarding for me, and he won't even need that source of reward yang food tadi tu. So external motivation will lead to internal motivation. We will associate. This is what we call as association. Lama-lama bila kita ada motivation dekat diri kita yang okay, every time I study, I will enjoy, I get to have my favorite things that I like to do. Contohnya Kak Mira, study tadi, after habis study, I get to watch my favorite show on YouTube. Okay. So lama-lama Kak Mira I don't even need that YouTube anymore because I have my motivation to continue studying because I can see the changes it brings in me. Because of course, bila kita ada motivation to study, we use external motivation first. Lama-lama it shows effort. No, it shows result. Yelah, bila kita study, kita dapat good result. So that good results become our internal motivation already. With the help of external motivation in the beginning. Okay, so that's how it works. How the internal motivation will build over the time. Okay.
Alright, thank you, Sister Mira. So suddenly we on the Q&A session. So we just proceed with Q&A session. So I will read the question from the chat box from Ahmad Zulhusni. What to do if we feel like we want to give up on our study?
Okay, this sounds like losing motivation actually. Okay, if you feel like you have given up, you have to identify why, what, and when does this happen. Usually Kak Mira akan tanya dulu, bila you perasan? When did you notice you start to feel like you are giving up? Some people, they feel like they give up after they can't complete their tasks, their assignments. Sebab tu Kak Mira cakap, I have mentioned this earlier, sometimes it can be procrastination. So it is the responsibility that you need to take. Okay? So if you give up because of the mistakes that you have done, that is, we are trying to escape from our mistake if you want to give up. That is if you procrastinate, okay? Procrastination ataupun you don't do well in the beginning, you're not prepared for the study, so you are going to face the consequence. So that feeling, that loss of motivation is a consequence of your previous behavior or previous action. So that is actually the responsibility that you need to take, and giving up is an escape to what had happened before. So that is one situation. Satu kami akan, I will ask, when do you notice this? Is it towards the end of the semester? If it's towards the end of the semester, you start to give up, I am going to explore why. What did you do in the beginning of the semester? Did you try to catch up? What effort did you make? Okay, I am going to do that lah. I'm going to ask that. So if you are asking this to yourself, or you don't get help from counselors, this is just a question that have been happening in your mind. This is a question you need to ask yourself juga lah. When do I start to notice this? What did I do in the beginning of the semesters? Should I escape from this? You have to ask yourself. But some people, they give up on the study. Mungkin memang they are not interested with the subject. It is a subject that the parents ask them to take and they can't carry. Okay, that is a different issue. Okay, if you feel like you're giving up on this, you can consult career counselors. We usually help with that. not we lah, they lah. Kak Mira bukan career counselor, but usually in the issue of you want to explore more on the study because you're not into it. You have to explore lah what opportunities you have in this subjects in this course. Sometimes we feel like we don't like it because we don't even know what is it about. Our parents yang suruh ambil. So we have to create external motivation to continue studying in that course kalau tak minat lah and you want to try. But if you feel like you cannot carry anymore, that is you need to consult the counselor if you can change course ke so that you start to have motivation to study balik. So there are ways, okay? Don't feel like you are trapped in a situation that you can't get out. So that is one thing you can consult with a career counselor. But another thing, maybe you feel like you give up because you like the course. In the beginning, memang you like the course. But towards the middle part of the session, towards the end, you feel like, why is it so hard? I like this subject. It's so hard. And other factors macam you can't understand the subject. It can be disappointing until we want to give up, although we like this course. So identify why I want to give up. When you can identify why, you have to take action. Macam okay, because I want to give up because I can't understand what am I learning. So you know the course already. What can I do about it? So if you just think of the problem without thinking of the solution, it's not going to have any end to it. You are going to stress yourself out even more. You have to know why you feel like that. What can I do about it? So itulah, what can I do about it is something that you have to figure out yourself. Or if you can't, you can come to the career counselor again. Because everyone has different struggle, different reason why they want to give up. But they don't know what they should do when you feel give up. So my guidance is identify why. And when you have identified why, when you feel like this, think of what can you do about it. Okay? Kalau Kak Mira nak suggest what you can do about it, I can't do that because maybe you have your own reason, maybe you have your own struggle. So semua orang different in terms of the struggles. First thing, identify why first. Okay? So that's my answer.
Alright, thank you, Sister Amira. So the next question from our participants, Alisa Imran. How to deal with perfectionism, procrastination?
Okay, this is my first time seeing this word, but I'm trying to make sense of it. Perfectionism, procrastination. What does that mean? And Alisa, can you elaborate more? Is it when you want to be too perfect that you procrastinate or what? Okay, I want Alisa. I asked Alisa to further elaborate. What does this mean first before I answer? So in the meantime, while Alisa is explaining about this, can we move on to the next question first?
Alisa, maybe you can open your mic or write in chat box.
Yeah. Is Alisa there?
Alisa?
Kak Mira akan Google perfectionism. Procrastination. Okay, let me try to make sense of this. So perfectionism, procrastination is... Oh, ada ke Alisa answering? Oh, tak. I've never heard of perfectionism, procrastination before. Okay, what I can understand from Google lah. Okay, kami tengok kat Google je. Perfectionism, procrastination is like a loop. So dia macam ni. Can I share on the screen? So that everyone can see and learn?
Yes, you can share your screen.
Okay. Let me just share lah. Okay. Okay, can you guys see this? Is it appearing?
Yes.
It is, right? Okay. So, okay, tiba-tiba jadi lecture pula kat sini. Okay, so this is what I understand. Oh, okay, Alisa is already responding. Okay, it's more like putting assignments aside till it's near the due date. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know how hard, how you know you can get it done no matter how it is. Oh, okay. So kalau ikutkan, okay, I'm gonna explain based on the slide I shared and also what Alisa inform us in the chat. Oh, okay. Just want to be perfect. Okay. Based on what Alisa said, so you put assignments aside until the due date is near. But you know you can get it done. Walaupun it is hard, you know it's hard, you can still get it done. And you want to be, you want it to be perfect. So this is what I was saying in the earlier just now. If you are the type who likes to procrastinate, but at the end of the day, you still manage to catch up with the due date. That's okay because I've done that before as well. It's just that when you procrastinate, are you sure you can get things done in good quality? Okay, some people they are gifted. Yeah, like I said just now, some people are gifted. They get more productive when the due dates is getting nearer, and they can do a very good job at it, even though they procrastinate. So this is if you are gifted with that. Okay. Yeah, you feel bad about doing it. Some people, yeah, because you feel bad because it's a norm. Okay, we are enforcing everyone to not procrastinate. So when we procrastinate, we feel bad, although we know we can achieve what it is expected. So that is a pressure on someone who procrastinate. But you have to know the difference. If you feel like you can procrastinate, but you still can do it well, that's okay for you. To some people, they can't procrastinate because they can't make sure the quality of work is up to standard. Okay. So Alisa, I think if you still manage to catch up, you still manage to do well for your assignments, should be okay. But make sure the times that you procrastinate to, you use it for good cause lah. For example, you do something like self-care, things that is benefiting you, not just merely procrastinating, but just in a harsher way to say, it's like you just waste your time. So make sure you fill in the time with something beneficial so that that guilt is compensated. So although you procrastinate, you can still get your things done in a good quality manner, but the time that you have spent procrastinating, make sure you make use of it. Okay, so that is for Alisa. So she still mentioned it can be done, and actually it's also related juga. So perfectionism, procrastination. You want your work to be the best, but you procrastinate. And when you want to get things done towards the end of the due date, maksudnya dah sampai due date, only then you want to start working on things. And it's going to be a loop that is too overwhelming. I only have few more days to submit my assignments. I want my assignments to be perfect. I want to get good scores. And then you get so tired. It's like draining your energy, it's draining your motivation, but you still want it to be done in a perfect way. So that is perfectionism, procrastination. So in general, procrastination is bad if you can't keep up to it. You have high expectation. So it can be very stressful because not just it is ending it is going to drain your energy. You are stressed first because you only have few days to submit, and then you are stressed because you have high expectation. It's very stressful. You want to do your best, and then you are going to get tired. Because you're doing your best, you are going to have less sleep, less rest. You can't even have fun because you are too focused on this. So that is perfectionism, procrastination. To some people who are gifted, it's okay. Like Alisa, I think you are doing well because you know you can get it done. Okay? And like I said, if you are this kind of person, you're gonna feel bad, okay, because you're not using the time you're supposed to do your work with procrastinating. So use that time you are procrastinating with something beneficial to you, so that at least you're not doing your work, you're doing something good for yourself. So that is my answer for this question. Okay.
All right. Question from Hakim Anajiha. What
Mm-hmm.
to do if like almost most of the time of the day could not feel the present, like knowing what currently are doing, like sitting, lying on bed, texting, but could not feel on 100% on the present, mind in blank, and
Mm-hmm.
heartbeat always beats faster. It only feels slightly better when talking to someone on call, but not face to
Okay.
face, but like I cannot
Mm.
call.
Okay, okay.
So how to cope
Uh-huh.
with that?
Okay. So you always
That's the
you're not
question.
okay. So this person, Sister Akima, she's not living in the present. So it's like macam what to say, you are in a dream, you're not living based on the present moment. So when you're not living in the present moment, you're not gonna enjoy what is happening around you tau. Even if you have someone around you ke, or you have your best friends with you, if you are not living in the present moment, you're not gonna appreciate what is going on at that moment, and you are going to regret it like later on. So in this case, you have to know what is actually going on in your mind, or what has happened that makes you feel this way. Okay, so you know how to cope with it, which is you have to call your friends, you have to talk to someone. There is a coping way. There's a good coping strategy, which is talking to someone, connecting with others. But if you only rely on this, you already know it's not possible to call someone 24 hours a day. Yes, this is something that is not possible. And then when you know that this is not possible, this is not a good coping skills lah, because you are relying on others to feel better. So bila jadi macam ni, actually there must be something going on with you tau. Some people they don't realize they have problems, but they only experience the symptoms. This is very very I would say common to some of my clients. They come to the session because of this. For example, mungkin Hakimah, contoh lah, Hakimah is my client. She comes to me, okay Kak Mira, I always feel like I can't live in the present. I feel like my mind is blank all the time. I need to call my friend, but I can't call them 24 hours. What should I do? Okay, this is actually symptoms or manifestation of what you actually experience. Everyone has problems, but not everyone is aware of what problems you have. Okay, so these kind of problems, mungkin you have to identify what goes on your mind most of the time. Some people they don't realize they are actually thinking about what is why am I alone, why am I like this, why I need my friends around me all the time. So identify what goes on in your mind actually. So based on what you think will determine what issue do I have actually. Okay, some people ada masalah ni because of self insecurity, you have self esteem issues, you have mungkin you have anxiety. So a lot of things actually that you need to discover. Okay, this is actually just the symptoms that you're experiencing, and we have to explore what issue actually do you have, and based on that issue we are going to find ways to cope. So here is not an issue yet, this is just what you are experiencing. We have to explore more on that, so you can come to counseling session maybe. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Sister Amira. So this maybe one last question from
Mm-hmm.
Alia Nasrin. How to really study smart?
To release.
How to
What?
really study smart?
Oh, how to really study smart. Oh,
You hear me?
okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. I think these questions can wrap up what I actually have shared just now. Studying smart means you have a goal. Okay. This program is already a goal for you. You want to achieve 4.0. That is a goal. When you have a goal, you have to have a mindset. Macam tadi Kak Mira cakap, it's very important to have mindset. Why? When you have mindset is something that is in your thoughts, your mind. Okay. This is what will lead your behavior and your emotions. Okay, let me just briefly talk about our psychological makeup lah. Psychological makeup ni we have emotions, behavior and thoughts. Okay, mindset is the thoughts lah. And This psychological makeups, dia macam kereta. It's like a car. So we have 2 tires in front, 2 tires at the back. So 2 tires in the front are what influence the back tires. Okay, so the directions the front tire takes will move the back tire. So it will follow the direction. That is the same with our emotions, behavior, and thoughts. Our thoughts is the front tire tau. So our mindset is there. And this mindset will influence the back tires, which is our behavior and also our emotions. So if we have the right mindset, which is I want to get 4.0, you really, really want that. Your behavior or your actions, your efforts, your emotions will follow that mindset, will follow that thoughts. So mindset is important. And with the mindset, studying smart is not just about the scores. You also have to know the skills that you need to develop. Okay, studying does not mean academics. You can study how to be a better presenter. You can study how to be how to improve your interaction with others. Okay, studying ni is like always associated with books, with subjects. Okay, actually studying is, it can be so many things. Studying about yourself is also a part of studying. So studying smart means you're not just focusing on your academics. Of course, 4.0 is very important. How to achieve 4.0? You have to develop yourself. You have to know when is your limit when you're studying. You have to make sure your mental health is being taken care of. Because if your mental health is not stable, how are you going to focus in your study? If you have issues that you can't solve, how are you going to focus? So a lot of things actually plays a role, okay? Not just studying because you have assignments to catch up on until you forget. You need to rest. You forget. You need to have fun as well. So studying smart means you focus on your you focus on your academics, you focus on yourself as well. It's balanced, not just merely just catch up 4.0 and then you don't have even motivation. Okay, lantak lah, what do I do next even if I have 4.0? Because you don't have motivation anymore. So we don't want that. We want you to be a student with 4.0, with a good personality, with good motivation in you. So you can give more to others in that way, okay?
All right. Thank you, Sister Amira, for answering all the questions. And thank you, everyone, for all the questions. I am sorry because I cannot take all the questions from you. And we hope that our program this morning can be a biggest help for yourself in your study. As we have reached to the end of our program, I would like to thank Sister Amira Hazwani Bakri for giving us a really fun and fruitful thought and motivations for our students. And I would like to apologize for any mistake from us in handling this program. Thank you, Sister.
Thank
And
you so
then
much.
before we end our program today, thank you, Sister. And then before we end our program today, all participants are required to fill in the feedback form. The feedback form is the same as the attendance form. You guys just need to fill in this one feedback form only. The link is published at the chat box by our committee. And then we would like also to have a photography session with everyone. Anyone who can turn on your camera, you may do so. Any committee to take the picture?
Okay, I will take the picture. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, maybe one more. Okay, thank you guys.
All right, thank you, Hani. With this, we will end
Okay,
our
thank you
program
very
today
much.
with. Thank you. With this, we will end our program today with Tasbih Kafarah and Suratul As.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you everyone for joining our program today. You will receive an e-certificate from us through your email in few days. You also may follow us on our Instagram SITC IIUM for more interesting upcoming programs by us. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sister Amira. That was a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Really?
My